really happy to invite up to the stage the start of our kind of computer vision category. Jan Erik Solem, come on up here, Jan Erik, from Mapillary, all the way from Sweden. Crowdsourcing map photographs. Take it away.
Thank you. Oh, yes. All right, thanks, Evan. It's great to be here. I'll be talking a little bit about crowdsourcing photos, and I'm going to start with showing you a video that explains everything. All right, I know what some of you are thinking when you saw this. Is this really how we're going to cover the places of this planet with photos? With people biking around, holding up their phone or attaching it to their front window on their cars? I think so. I think a fundamental, a fundamental thing here is if you want to cover everything, you can't rely on sending equipment or sending people to that place. You need to use what's already there. So starting with your phone is a good plan, I think. But again, we also probably need to go beyond phones. So what you saw in that video was different ways of capturing photos. So with apps, in this case, the apps take photos automatically depending on if you're driving, biking, or whatever you do. And you saw the guy going in and looking at his uploads, but you can also search. You get a search result, in this case, the Venice beach canals. We did a little thing. Google had this blog post about that they now have the Venice canals, and we were like, oh, well, we have the Venice beach canals. So the thing here is that if you want to cover the places that are not covered by cars today, like this is a good example. So all the beautiful parts of the Venice beach canals are like the little pedestrian paths and the cute bridges that you see in the movies. But I mean, Google Street View, they drive with their cars, so they have the trash cans in the alleys behind these beautiful buildings. And that's not what you want in this case. So if you want to go beyond that, so this is what the site looks like. You can navigate forwards, backwards, turn left, right, and go to nearby photos, turn around. But only if someone was there and took a photo in that direction. So this is crowdsourced, mixed from a lot of different users, a lot of different devices, but it's all stitched into one continuous view of that place in this case. And then if you want to fast forward from A to B, you can also just drag on the photos. And it's like a little, I don't know what, looks like a music video, I think, sometimes. So you can quickly go from A to B, you can quickly look around what a place looks like. But I mean, it's all generated from photos that people contribute. So the worst people to talk to about this, so people from the Bay Area, there's like, why bother? This is crazy. I mean, Google covers my street every week. Why would I bother with this thing? But I mean, this picture shows it quite clearly. So this is Google's from their own Street View marketing page. You can see Asia, Africa, South America. There are a lot of photos that they're missing there, a lot of places. But also in some of the blue areas, if you look at this example, so this is Sweden, where I'm from. A lot of cities, you see the Google Street View car just drives straight through. And in some cases, like, so this is a fairly major city. On the right, there's a small town with 10,000 people, and you can see the little residential areas. And of course, it's never going to be cost effective to go in and drive through all of those little streets and all the bike paths and all of that. But I mean, a human can cover that city in 2 weekends easily. So that's the whole thing, right? And so since this is a computer vision summit, so I'm gonna spend a little time on talking about the challenges here. So you have lots of messy data. So you don't know when people will go take photos. They'll take photos with different cameras, different time of day, different time of year, and they'll take photos of whatever they find interesting. And then you get something like this. So lots of different, so the blue lines are the tracks where we have photos. So people walked or biked or drove their car in these areas. And then we have to combine all of those together into something beautiful. So we do photo matching to connect the photos. We blur faces and license plates. We use the visual matches to clean up the GPS data, because with most of these devices, the GPS is crap. So you get like 5 meters accuracy if you're lucky. You get 15 meters accuracy if you're unlucky. And in this case, it makes a lot of difference. And so there's a lot of cleanup work to be done, and that's all automatic vision-based. And so that's the importing processing. But then there's processing being done when you're viewing it. So when you're live viewing it, and you want to go forward, backward, left, and right, we need to pick the good photos to show you. We need to also compute the transitions between the photos if we can. And so that's what happens on the right if you navigate around. And so if you really want to make this a global thing and cover everything, you need to make it really simple. So the way we do it is photos in, Street View out. So we have an iOS app, an Android app, and you can do a manual web upload. But the API is just photos in, as long as it has the photos have the right data in the EXIF, we can take care of them. We do the processing. And then we package all of that in a data structure that lets you browse these things quickly, and also filter in on the client side if you only want to see a certain type of data. And so we expose that data raw through an API, and the viewer you saw there is just our JavaScript viewer. And it's just a simple version, but the nice thing with this simple interface, photos in and then the raw data out, is that you can open up for anyone to build the different capture devices. So there's a community member who built a Windows Phone app. It's better than our own apps, I think. There's Amazon Kindle. There are people using GoPros. And you can use basically any data source that we can handle in the back end. And the same way you can build your own viewers. You can put this in a professional GIS system. You can put it natively on your device, whatever device that might be. And I think this is sort of the key. If you want to reach every place on the planet, you can't force people to have an iOS device or an Android device or even a Windows Phone device. You need to be able to take whatever they have. And that's when it gets real fun. So if you thought that the guy biking was quirky, you should see what some people are doing with this. There's a guy who built a rig for his car, a wooden rig, and he puts his Android phone in the little pocket above. And there's a guy who rides around with his sports car with a GoPro in front of it, and he uploads all of those photos. And actually a really good case is the one on top where, I don't know if you can see, it's a bus, and it's a phone attached with double-sided tape. And so the next time you ride the bus, if you ask the driver nicely, you can put the phone in the window, and you get great photos, actually. So there are really no limits. The point here being that you can go out and take pictures every day, every week, every month, and by sending equipment, cars or whatever, bikes, trikes, backpacks, there's always going to be this limit. Well, I mean, we can't send our backpack to your house every week, but you can go out and take photos every week. So that's sort of the premise, and the end goal is cover everything. And for the computer vision people in the crowd, we're hiring after this summer, and this is how you find me. Thank you.